you could use elements of the value conversation in your favor. And what I mean by that is approaching the conversation through the lens of value. Here's the value we have created thus far for the organization. What kind of value are you looking to create? And are you interested in having us guide you through a conversation that can uncover value, help you assign measurements in the form of metrics, and actually then maybe work towards some of these goals together? Hey, everybody. Great to be back with you today. I'm Shannyn Lee, the managing director at Win Without Pitching. And I just wrapped up leading one of our workshops. It's a sales training workshop that runs over 4 days, 3 hours each day. And we teach you the frameworks for selling, qualifying the value conversation, the 1-page 3-option proposal, and then facilitating the close. And one of the conversations that took place today was really interesting to me. And I wanted to share some ideas and thoughts coming out of it. There were 2 elements to it. The first was, what if somebody new joins your client organization that you've been working with for a while, a new person to the team, and they want to change things up? How do you get into that conversation with them? How do you begin to build a relationship with them? And the other piece of it was, in the value conversation, how do you become an ally for that client if they have to go back and kind of sell it up if you can't get senior leaders in the conversation itself? So let's first address the new person joining the organization. So let's say it's a new CMO, potentially. It could even be just a new marketing leader on the team. It doesn't have to be a senior hire. What's your first step? If it's me, I'm going to reach out and I'm going to ask to have a conversation, introduce myself, and deal with the elephant in the room head on, right? Hey, I know you're new to the organization. I'm looking forward to getting to know you. I would love to take some time to just bring you up to speed on what we've been doing with your business up until now, up until you joined. Share the results that we've had, share the ideas that we have moving forward, hear from you what you're hoping to achieve, hear from you if you're wanting to make some changes. We understand that when somebody new joins the organization, change is going to take place. So we'd love to just get into an open conversation about that with you. And I would hope that you could feel that you can be transparent with me about what might be coming down the road, given our long history with your team. I think that it's got to be addressed head on. I also think you could use elements of the value conversation in your favor. And what I mean by that is approaching the conversation through the lens of value. Here's the value we have created thus far for the organization. What kind of value are you looking to create? And are you interested in having us guide you through a conversation that can uncover value, help you assign measurements in the form of metrics, and actually then maybe work towards some of these goals together? I think if you approach it like that, grounded in value, grounded in a business case, you might have a better shot at keeping your position within that business and on their roster as one of the firms they work with when leadership changes. Okay, let's close the book on that and shift over to what happens if you can't get the senior leaders in the value conversation. I still want you to have it. One of the things we learned today from attendees in the workshop is a lot of times the clients they're talking to in the sales cycle, when they're in a value conversation, share that they're frustrated that they have a hard time conveying the value of working with a firm to the senior leaders who might have ultimate sign-off approval to move forward with that firm. Well, the value conversation is your mechanism. And if you can get that person to identify their desired future state, their goal, their vision, and then start to uncover the metrics of success for the immediate project and the longer vision, and start to then quantify the value of that to the organization. Let's say it could get you a 20% increase in revenue, which might lead to a 10% increase in profit. I'm just making numbers up. You can then ask that client to be, hey, do you think that your president would be interested in hearing how we can achieve a 20% increase in sales and a 10% increase in profitability? Whatever the metrics are, the phrasing around, do you think your president, do you think senior leadership would be open to hearing how we might get that done? I think it gives you a much better shot, once again, in being an ally with that person and finding a way to get in front of that senior leadership, if you can let them know you're going to support them in the conversation around how we can explain the value we can create, how we can make the business case standing by your side to senior leaders, why it might make sense to hire a firm like ours. You don't want to just show a capabilities deck and talk about all the things you've done for other clients. That's great to prove expertise. But what can you do to actually then prove it out in the form of outcomes you can provide to their business and ground it in business context and ask for an audience with that president? And if you can't get that audience, then at least your client can go and feel better prepared to have that conversation around, hey, we had this focused conversation on value. It's part of what I like about this agency. I want to share with you the outcomes to see if you feel a bit more comfortable in proceeding with hiring them, right? You're giving them a real business case to work from. Consider some of this. I'd love to hear how it's going for you out there when you're in these scenarios. Hopefully this was helpful. And send your questions. We love to answer them. I'm always here to provide some guidance and help. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Cheers.